What's going on, gamers? Today we're back with a little bit more Diablo 2 Resurrected, and hopefully for some of you returning players or beginner players, this may well help you out. If you're after a rune to create a rune word and you just can't seem to find it, you're having no luck, but you have an absolute abundance of other runes, this may well make things a bit easier for you. Welcome back, you guys and girls. As always, for all things gaming, for all things Xbox. Why not hit that subscribe and bell icon? I'll bring you all the latest and greatest in hints, tips, guides and builds, and just some fun gameplay and reviews of upcoming games. Of course, there's a lot more Diablo on the way, but for today we're going to find out how we can upgrade runes and why you should be doing it. Now, runes and the crafting of rune words in this game is definitely one of my favourite aspects of it. It's really fun. It means you can kind of create your own build to your liking, you can change things around. There's a lot to it, but they're not as easy to make most times as you'd think. There's a lot of farming, there's a lot of RNG, and sometimes if you've got luck like I have, it could take you days, weeks or even months to make the rune word you're after. Now with this you can take a little bit of the RNG aspect out of it, because if you're not fortunate enough to be able to get that rune, you may well have a few of the others that are a little bit before it that you can change into it. So just in case you don't know, in Diablo 2 Resurrected there's actually 33 different runes that you can collect, ranging all the way from L, which is the low tier ones, you can find them in normal, nice and easy, all the way up to Zod, which just good luck. Good luck, you'll be playing a long time, the drop rate is astronomical, even seeing one in your lifetime drop in a party will probably be rare or unseen. It's just crazy on how much you'd have to farm to get one. And the same goes for some of the others. Some of the later tier runes, so anything over 20, can be a little bit tougher to obtain. So sometimes you definitely have to limit your expectations and work with what you've got or what you can achieve in order to create those rune words. One thing to help you out with that, if I pop over to my chest just here, this right here is your Horadric's cube. If you're watching this video, you've almost definitely already got this, because rune words and such and crafting usually takes a little bit later game. But this right here is acquired from Act 2, and you're going to need it whenever you're trying to craft new things. Obviously, rune words are usually made by chucking them into sockets, but we're trying to achieve upgrading our actual runes. So for that, what you'll need is a certain amount of runes, and you're going to chuck them into your Horadric's cube. So for example, if I press the right button here, just over here I've got an F rune, another F rune, and last but not least, you've probably guessed it, another F rune. So as you can see, I've got 3 of the exact same rune, and they're quite lower levelish. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to bop over to that and press transmute. Now, as you can see, I now have the next stage up, the if rune. If we were classing runes on the scale that I said beforehand, from 1 all the way up to 33, the F rune would have been ranked 5, and this rune right here is ranked 6, meaning that 3 of the lower ranked one, when transmuted, has achieved the next stage up. Now in general, being able to upgrade runes is just invaluable. RNG is always RNG, meaning that sometimes you're just not going to have much luck. With this method, as long as you have runes, or as long as you know a way to farm them, you'll always be able to upgrade them to the next level. Remember, one great way of farming them is still going to be the Countess. If you're very new to Diablo or haven't played in some time, I'll chuck a link up top right just so you know exactly what that is. But in general, that's a really nice easy way where you're guaranteed some runes. Now another thing to note is as the rune's rarity increases, so does the recipe cost. So at later levels, they're going to cost gems as well to upgrade to that next level rune. So for example here, if I grab 3 of the same rune, and this time we're going to be using a dull, another dull, and another dull rune, so 3 dull runes in total, and then I'm going to need 1 chipped emerald. I'm going to chuck all of these in the Horadric's cube, and then I'm going to jump down and press that transmute button, and it will change into a hell rune, meaning it's the next stage up from the one we had previously, the dull rune. As the runes go up in rarity, so does the cost of the gem you're inserting, meaning later on if you're trying to craft those really endgame runes, you're probably going to need those flawless gems alongside it. Now those very last runes, when you start to craft endgame tier ones, some runes that a lot of players won't actually even get to see depending on how much time they put into Diablo, but when you do get to those really high end ones, I believe it's from Paul onwards, because the chance for them is so low to drop, the recipe turns into a 2 rune of the same type, and again a gem to accompany it. All in all, knowing these recipes is absolutely invaluable for creating those early to mid game and even those late game ones if you're grinding a lot of runes. Although definitely don't aim to try and create some of the last ones by upgrading, as it would take you an I don't know, I just wouldn't aim for that. It would take so long, it's not worth thinking about, although you may be able to get those mid to later ones this way. All in all, this is really helpful to be able to craft those rune words if you're missing a rune of sorts, although if you're trying to make some of the later recipes, it will still take you a lot of grinding, and I definitely wouldn't aim to make anything on the kind of highest tier by upgrading, because it would take you an absolute age. But definitely worth noting, because you may just be missing one or two in order to craft a really nice recipe. Right, you gamers, I hope that's helped a few of you out. Before I end this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to chuck on all of the crafting recipes, just so that you know exactly what you need to do in case you ever want to come back here and want to know what you need in order to make the next rune up. But I'll leave that there. You'll be able to jump back to this whenever you need to. And as always, for all things gaming, for all things Xbox. Take care. I'll see you all next day.